When you think of the mother goddess, there's one region that just towers above all the others: Anatolia. But why? Why there? Well, today we're going to dive into the fascinating history of this land and explore its really unique and powerful connection to revered female figures, a connection that's lasted for thousands of years. And that brings us to a pretty provocative question, doesn't it? Could Anatolia actually be the source of matriarchal society? Could the origins of a culture centered on female authority really be traced all the way back to this one place? That's a huge claim, so let's unpack it. To really get this, we've got to start with a concept that developed in Anatolia way before most other places. It's the whole idea of what they called the Ana Tanrıça, or the mother goddess. And this wasn't just some small idea, It was a complete worldview. It put female power right at the center of everything. It symbolized fertility, abundance, birth, even the earth itself. They called it Toprak Ana, the Earth Mother. It was all-encompassing. Now, when you put that next to what was happening in the rest of the world, wow, it really shows you just how radical the Anatolian way of thinking was. While so many other places were developing under really strict patriarchal rule with almost no female influence to be seen, Anatolia was doing the opposite. It was building a culture that actively celebrated female power. And that difference, well, it sets the stage for everything else. So this huge concept, this mother goddess idea, it found its most famous expression in one incredibly powerful figure, Kybele, or as you might know her, Cybele. Just think about that quote for a second. It totally reframes how we think about gods, doesn't it? It suggests that Kybele wasn't some myth just handed down from the heavens. Nope, she was something consciously created, a true product of thought that came directly from the imagination of the Anatolian people themselves. So what does that actually mean? It means Kybele was more than just a belief. She was a creative idea that was so powerful, so central to the culture, that it was literally elevated to the level of a god. She was a deified concept. That's just incredible when you really stop and think about it. But here's the thing. Kybele wasn't a one-off. Not at all. She was just one peak in a long, continuous line of powerful female voices that you can hear echoing all through Anatolian history, from the ancient world right up to the modern day. And just look at the sheer variety here. It's staggering. This legacy of strong female figures continued through other religious icons like Artemis and even the Virgin Mary, who was deeply honored here. You see it in the legendary Amazon warriors. And, of course, in seriously sharp politicians like Queen Artemisia of Caria, who commanded her own fleet in battle, by the way, and Hürrem Sultan, who completely changed Ottoman politics from inside the harem. This thread just keeps going, all the way through history, with famous artists, writers, and national heroes. The influence is just undeniable. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. We've got this core concept of the mother goddess, we have the deified idea of Kybele, and we have this long, unbroken line of influential women. So what's the ultimate legacy here? What does it all add up to? Well, what you get is this uniquely rich and unbroken heritage of powerful female voices. It's not just about one goddess here or one queen there. No, it's a persistent cultural thread that valued and elevated the female figure across religion, politics, and art. And that is a legacy that feels truly one of a kind in the grand story of world history. Which, of course, leaves us with one final and really crucial question. What does this ancient legacy of powerful female influence, coming from this one specific part of the world, tell us about our own understanding of power, of culture, and of society today? Something to think about.